This is WICR.
And welcome back. Thank you. Thank you for joining us again. We're back, and now we're gonna get into the political news. This week is the final week. There was early voting. All I think it started last week in some states, um, and in some counties all across America. So basically, this is your chance to vote. This is your time to vote. And if your state does not have early voting, then you can vote next week, Tuesday, November 8th. Um, just as we thought this election, or as I thought this election was winding down, that things were becoming normal. It seemed like things were becoming normal, getting better. I was wrong. I was proven wrong. Everybody was proven wrong. Um, After all the Trump allegations, after all the Trump comments, after uh, the KKK endorsed Trump this election, after all these crazy, basically months, a year and a half, basically, after everything that has been said, everything that has been heard, that has been seen, with the videotapes that came out, after all that, I thought that at least in the final week that there would be some closure, some rest, some okay, we're about to have this election, we could calm down, everything's going to be okay. But no, there's another scandal, and this time it's not even Trump. Even though Trump has done so much in the past, he said a lot of things. Today is not about him. Um this week is not about him. It's about Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party. They have dug themselves into a hole. And I consider myself liberal. I'm not really conservative that much, up to a certain point. Um, but yeah, the Democratic Party has dug themselves a hole, and it's gonna take a lot to get themselves out again. Um, it started early in the election with the Bernie Sanders versus Hillary Clinton debates and battles, primaries, caucuses. That's where it started, where the emails came out, where Bernie accused Hillary Clinton's campaign of, or the DNC itself, of giving Hillary information, voter ID, not voter ID, just information about the voters in the areas, of where they were battling, and when they were trying to get votes to win the nomination to go on to run for president of the United States, formally as the head of the party. Um, that's where it started, and now the FBI just reopened a case, uh, where they assumed that there were more emails that came out, even though they weren't really sure. They just assumed that more emails came out of of Hillary Clinton and her campaign, and what she's doing. Basically, the 33,000 emails that were destroyed, or were thought were deleted and thought were destroyed, are coming back to haunt her once again. Every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, her emails come out. But this time it's at the hands of Anthony Weiner. Um, he has been in a lot of trouble over the past couple of years, with his whole scandals, sexting scandals, with other women, with a 15-year-old. He's just been having trouble for many years. Basically, his wife is finally divorcing him. He's just not in a good spot, and it's because of him and his texts or emails that the FBI is even opening this case again, after saying that there was nothing in there, no evidence that Hillary uh, did anything wrong. There was no wrongdoing. They're reopening this case a week before the election, and it's due to Anthony Weiner. Um, and in these emails, you see basically her uh, colluding with the DNC, with the DNC representatives, with congressmen, senators from different states, Democratic senators, to either stop Bernie Sanders, or now, um, to to get information on the debates and on the questions that are going to be given at the debates. Donna Brazil, was just kicked off of CNN for allegedly giving Hillary Clinton the debate notes before the election, before the debates that took place. I believe, I'm not sure whether if it was between her and Bernie Sanders or between her and Trump. I think it's between her and Bernie Sanders. Um, so CNN cut ties with her. Uh, it's just it's weird. This whole election season is weird. And this should be the easiest election that Hillary Clinton could ever win. That's how it should have been. Where any other candidate she would have lost to, whether it was Scott Walker, whether it was Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio. The only one that was close that she would have maybe beaten was Ted Cruz. Uh, but besides that, almost all the other candidates Hillary Clinton would have definitely lost to. And that was another reason why I was huge, I still am a Bernie supporter at that time, was because I was scared that if Trump didn't make it, if Trump didn't win, if Trump did lose, then he would be, then Hillary would have lost the election, and then the Republican Party would have taken over the presidency after Obama, and that and they would have basically undone his whole legacy, would have overturned any ruling, anything that he did, gay marriage or Obamacare. They would have overturned that, and that's what I was basically afraid of. And now with these emails and with the FBI reopening the case, this has led to not a surge, but just more people voting for Trump than previously thought and that previously did. Now there are more people that are going back into the booths or rethinking their who are they voting for. And now, some of them have switched from Hillary to Trump, and this could be bad for Hillary. This could be the thing that pushes Trump over the edge and that hurts Hillary so much that Trump actually wins the presidency. Um, just through this without even doing anything. And this is what he should have done the whole election season. Now that he's not saying anything, that he's quiet, that he's not insulting anybody, this is when Hillary Clinton is starting to lose. After the debates, now there's no more debates for them to talk, now to see how, uh, to compare the two candidates together side by side. You can see how Hillary just blatantly has a better temperament than Trump, how she's calm, cool, collected, how she's not frantic, spastic at times, how she knows what she's talking about with policy. How Trump lies so much. Hillary lied, I think, about 27% during the debates, Bernie 28%, Trump around 70 to 77%, around there. So those debates really did help Clinton and push her to or furthered her argument that she is the better candidate than Trump. With all of his comments, with his walking around during the debates, with his basically his whole rhetoric was just being dissected, and also at the same time being seen for who he is and what he is when he said that he doesn't pay taxes. He hasn't paid taxes, and that made him smart. Whether it was the Law and Order comments, whether it was the Bad Hombres comments, that really hurt Trump, and that brought Hillary up, and almost basically gave her the election at that point. But since there are no more debates, you can't really see that. Now it's Trump's words versus Hillary's words, and you could see either side, and you have to do it yourself instead of them being at the same spot at the same time, and you can see them side by side and do an easy comparison and say, oh, this person is clearly better, clearly more mature, clearly fit to run the country and to be president, because of their temperament, because of what they're saying, because one of them actually knows policies and knows what they're doing and has been around politics her whole life and has worked hard her whole life to serve the people. She was basically a servant for the people, and made laws, passed laws, went to different countries to help the whole country, the United States. And she's been doing this for many years, for over 30 years. She's been working hard at this, and Trump has been, a businessman who's been bankrupt multiple times, who's been lying this whole time, who doesn't know anything, who doesn't know any policies, who doesn't give clear, concise arguments um, on what they're talking about, who skips questions, who doesn't fully answer anything, and that's Trump, and that's what you saw during the debates. But now you don't see that anymore because there are no more debates, and now Trump is staying quiet. He's finally learning, I guess, and listening to the people who are helping him run his campaign, and that's basically helping him and hurting Hillary Clinton at the same time. So we just have to see. We just have to wait and see who comes up on top, who wins this debate, or who wins this election, basically. Because no matter what, it's gonna end on Tuesday, November 8th, unless, of course, Trump contests the votes and the results. Like he said, he might, because he won't accept them unless he wins, and that's that. In that comment alone, basically shows his his attitude, his temperament, just throughout this whole election. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about politics, but we're going to switch into entertainment news.